On the rostrum here, that would be a first. She's only done one half marathon, but it was a 66:13 clocking in Valencia last October. Well, the dignitaries are here en masse, including the Sheikh Saud bin Saka Al Kazimi. Let's get the ladies underway. She will go here today. Netzanet Gudeta, we understand, is planning to go out at 65-minute tempo. Very, very quick indeed. She has a best of 66:11 when she won the World Championships back in March in Valencia, Spain, Gudeta. But she won by 43 seconds, suggesting to me that she's capable of going significantly quicker, at least. 13.1 miles, or 21.1 kilometers of running ahead of these ladies with their male pacemakers. That makes it a mixed race. When Gudeta, by the way, set the won the world title back in March, she set a women-only world record in that race of her personal best 66:11, and that's in a way would be a reasonable target for her today as a personal best, although it would be not a new world record because it's clearly mixed with male pacemakers. The sun has just come up over to the east of this new course with the Hajar Mountains several miles away to the east. There is some of the lineups. 22 is Jepchirchir Gudeta's 24, 25 Saeed, 26 Saeed rather, 27 is Yima. Look out too there for Maringo, Devine Maringo, 67-minute athlete. That was at Houston just 3 weeks ago on the 20th of January. She's done 8 half marathons. She's quite experienced. Ayebe was 35 of Kenya. She's a 67:50 athlete. That was in Prague 2017. We'll identify these athletes more for you as the race goes on. But as you can see, for example, the left of picture, Valari. She's a good, strong runner. Valari to the left is Ayebe with that best of 67:50. Paris Jepchirchir, second woman to the right there in that pink vest, said she put on an enormous amount of weight during her post-childbirth months and has worked very, very hard to lose that weight and had to concentrate on exactly that task, and then ran a marathon in Eldoret back in November to try and reduce those curves. Well, let's have a look at the course, this new course. It used to be around the city centre, around the lagoon and the city itself, a few miles away from this venue now. And here we go. So now it starts by the Doubletree Hilton Hotel, and it heads inland, off island, and directly inland across the E11. Takes that left turn, and then a long straight stretch. This is all absolutely dead flat, by the way. And they head down with the sea on the left through 3K, that's around 2 miles, down towards this roundabout past 4K, where they take a left. This is more or less heading north. Then they head towards the ocean just for a few hundred meters to 5K, and then take a sharp right turn back along this strip towards the start area. That's the same road in effect as the one nearest us, just the traffic is moving in different directions. But through 7K, 8K, and then near 9K they take the right-hand turn back onto what is in effect a man-made peninsula before they get onto the first of 4 islands, past the hotel and the start area there, past the Doubletree, onto Island 1, onto Island 2. Island 1's tiny, through 11K, into the second half now. Big sweeping right-hand turn. Huge plans for this peninsula to be developed with a massive luxury hotels and villas and private accommodation. Through 13K, out towards the northernmost tip of the course now at 14K, a sharp left turn there, and then this big sweep back towards 15K, just over 5K to go at this point, past the Marjan Island Resort and Spa, and then turn right onto what is in effect Island 4, beautiful big iron. Look at that gorgeous great circle. They make a big sweep of this, hugging that left-hand curb. They were instructed very carefully at the technical meeting yesterday to make sure they try and run the shortest line. Don't waste any yardage. It sounds obvious, but it's very easy in the heat of battle. Through 20k, back onto Island 1, across that, and then sweeping down towards the common start-finish line where the crowds will be waiting for them. We expect a winning time of around 66 minutes, something like that. I don't think we'll see any world records this morning. I'd be delighted to be proven wrong. But that is the course on this fabulous Al Marjan Island complex. I think the maximum variation in height I read is 1 metre on this entire 21-kilometre course. Well, the history of the men's race is quite astonishing. Sami Wanjiru winning the very first race back in 2007 with an unofficial world record, 58.53. There was no drug testing that day. We didn't realise he was going to run so fast. But it's like a who's who of great distance runners. Jeffrey Kipsang, Lalisa de Sisa, the New York champion now, he's running today. Geremu, Legesse, it just goes on. It really is a fantastic list of star runners. Women historical times, well, Berhana Dere winning the first one just outside 70 minutes, then Der Tune in 2009 in the third race, getting under 70 minutes by a long way. Abey Legesse setting a Turkish national record in 2010. Of course, Mary Kaitani setting a world record here in 2011. She won again in 2015. Fancy Chemutai missing the world record last year by 1 second with that course record, 64.52. 2017, Perez Jepchirchir set that amazing world record, 65.06, which has now been bettered by some 15 seconds. So we'll bring you splits as quickly as we can to progress you. The 5k might be the first split we're able to bring you, but the pacemakers here know exactly what they've got to do. The 65-minute target for the lead group means going out at around 3:05 per kilometre. The second group, who are looking for 66 to 66.30, will go out at about 3:07, 3:08 per kilometre. And then the third group, looking for 66.30 to 67, will get out at about 3:09 to 3:10 per kilometre. Very difficult to get those tiny margins for every 3 minutes of running right. When you've got to try and ensure you're, after 3 minutes of running, you're 1 second behind somebody, of course, it's very tempting to just stick with them. But the cumulative damage can be done, because after 10 kilometres you might have entered what is for you personally the red zone, so to speak. Well, you can see the athletes, they're clinging on to those male pacemakers. We've got about 6 minutes until the start, 6 or 7 minutes until the start of the men's race and the mass race. And when I say mass race, well, there's over 3,000 entered for the mass race. Let's have a look at some of the elite men. Abadi Hadis, the fastest man in the field, just 21 years old, but is the best at 58.44. Sets him out as a very special athlete. That was his third place in Valencia last October. Yoram Makombo too is only 21, is a 58.48 performer. Makes him the fastest ever 19-year-old when he ran that time. Fikadu Haftu was a 59.22. There's 13 men in this field who have broken 60 minutes for the marathon, for the half marathon. Edwin Kiprop Kiptu, incredibly experienced and very, very consistent. He's a 59.26 performer. And then Khan Keegan Osbilen, the former Kenyan, running for Turkey here. Osbilen looking for the Turkish record. Is best at the moment, 59.58, but that was as a Kenyan back in 2011. And then there are still more. Cisse Lema, very experienced racer as well. Lema wearing a 19, has a best of 62.06, but he's worth so much quicker than that. He's a 2:04 marathon runner. And then you can see the rest of them coming through then with those lesser numbers. Those are the pacemakers. Kipkem, Moichezeret, Geremu, Kiplagat, Mengesha. Try and identify them for you as the race unfolds. Wazihun there, so the left of picture. Mule Wazihun, the 25-year-old Ethiopian, is a 59.44 performer. He was second in the Dubai Marathon back in 2017 in 2:06. And then last year, second in Amsterdam. That was only in October, when he ran 2:04.37, his marathon personal best.
We've got everything covered to make sure you have a superb day here in Ras Al Khaimah.
Well, that start gantry, rather spectacular. Those monstrous bright red figures, blood red figures, have been in place now for 2 or 3 years. Understand that is going to change next year. Nathan Clayton, the race director, likes to keep things buoyant at this race. He's done a fabulous job in the previous 12 editions of this race, during which there have been some truly astonishing achievements. If you look at the major events at this race over the years, back in 2007 at the inaugural race, as I mentioned, Sami Wanjiru, the late Sami Wanjiru, who the following year in Beijing would win the Olympic marathon title. He set an unofficial world record 58.53, and then in 2009 the men's 15-kilometer world record was set by Dariba Merga mid-race. In 2011, Mary Kaitani set a women's outright world record of 65.50, improving the old world record by 35 seconds. She also set a world record at 10 miles of 50.05 and at 20k of 62.36. Kaitani nearly always runs this race. She's run it, I think, for something like 5 out of the last 6 years, but I understand she's not running this year because she's got her eyes set on the London Marathon in about 8 or 9 weeks' time, and she just feels she's not quite recovered sufficiently from the New York Marathon, where she won in storming fashion last November. Not quite recovered enough to be in really good competitive shape for this one, and doesn't want to tweak things for a half marathon when the main goal for an athlete of her caliber, arguably the greatest marathon runner in history, the main goal for her is, of course, London in late April. Well, that second group, you can see Noam Jabet in the yellow, 25-year-old Bahrainian, former Kenyan, 68.22 performance. She could smash that today. She did 3 halves in 2018, setting her personal best here when she was 10th through that 68.22, and then she won in Madrid back in early April and was 6th in a Dutch race in October, but that was a windy, cold 74 minutes. And you can see the elite group here. To the right of picture is Pascalia Kipkoech, 30 years old, 67.17. She set that in Rio some over 6 years ago now. Kipkoech, she's a bronze medalist from the World Half Marathon Championships that year. Second to right, you can see there behind the tall pacemaker in yellow, Netzanet Gudeta. Powerfully built, isn't she, Gudeta? Reigning World Half Marathon champion. Very quick on the track too, Gudeta. She's a 30-minute 36 10,000 meter runner. That was back in 2016, and she dipped her toe into the world of marathon racing back in early 2017. In April, she ran in Paris a couple of years back, finished in 6th place with 2:29. She hasn't revisited the marathon world since, apart from a start in New York last November, but she dropped out of the Big Apple race in 2018. So the men on the start line then, we saw Julian Wanders there, the tall Swiss 22-year-old who today is looking to get under 60 minutes and perhaps even challenge Mo Farah's European record of 59.32 set in 2015. You can see the elite men gathered on the line there. The women, by the way, have been running for almost 14 minutes. We'll bring you their 5K split as soon as we can. There you can see, that is Nathan Director with a whistle in his mouth to write a picture, just trying to clear the road for this race to get underway in, well, about a minute's time, according to my clock. They are looking very much to get them underway. In years gone by, they've waited for 1 or 2 dignitaries to arrive, but that is not the case this year, and hasn't been for a couple of years. They're looking to get the race underway on time, as I understand it.
It's a new start, it's a new finish, but will we see another?
Well, that's my colleague Rob Walker on commentary. So here they go then. The fabulously strong field in depth, the men's elite racer in this 13th edition of the Ras Al Khaimah half marathon. 13 men under 60 minutes. There you can see the starter getting ready. That is the ruler Sheikh Saud bin Sakr Al Kazimi, his son beside him, Sheikh Mohammed bin Saud Al Kazimi, the Crown Prince. And away they go then. The men pretty much bang on time. Some 3,000 plus behind them. 3,036, the official number of entrants. And there are also some 584 athletes participating in the team relay challenge. About 148 teams, I understand. 148 four-man teams. And then at midday, long after the elites have finished, they'll have had their showers, eaten, and be back in bed, I suspect, recovering. At midday here in Ras Al Khaimah, there are kids races. It's a new innovation this year. I think there's 200 or 300 kids entered, which is a wonderful step forward, giving the next generation a chance to go through their racing motions. Now, the women, first 5K, 15:32. 15:32 for the women at 5K. That is a little on the slow side. We were looking for 3:05 per kilometre, so we were looking for 15:25. That is Gudeta, Azimaro, Teferi, Ayebi, Zainab Yima in that lead group. So a lead group of 5 women with the male pacemakers have gone out at 15:32 for the first 5K. Nothing disastrous there, being 5 or 7 seconds off schedule, but we don't want that to accumulate, and it would be nice to see them make up 2 or 3 seconds of that in this next 5-kilometre segment. So there you can see the 5-kilometre splits. 15:32, Netsunet Gudeta right behind the tall pacemaker in the yellow there to the right of picture. Zimaro is going well, just 20 years old. She was 6th here last year in that world under-20 record of 66.47. Teferi, looking for a big run from Teferi. She is, believe it or not, the 23-year-old debutante here, even though she's world-class from 1,500. She's run 4:01 for 1,500, right up to the marathon. She's run 2:24. Can you believe that spread? And yet she's never run a half marathon. The predicted time at the moment, 65:30. Yes, that would make sense. They were about 5 or 7 seconds down at 5K on the planned schedule, and they were looking for 65 pace, so they do need to keep striding out strongly in this second 5K. Not panic, not run too quick, such as anything down towards 15:10 or anything like that, but certainly claw back a few of those seconds lost in the first 5K. It's in the hands of the pacemakers. The ladies have to trust them. That's their job, to lay down a good steady tempo. There you can see the total number of entrants confirmed, 3,036. And in fact, the athlete desk in the hotel yesterday, just across the road, about 100 metres away, was inundated with guests in the hotel saying, can they enter, could they run? They didn't know about the race. Well, entries have been open for months, I'm afraid. The oldest female, Mimi Hamad, 70 years old. The oldest male, Hamid Kazim Al-Bastaki, 71 years old. The youngest female, 11, Yulita Tomjuk, and Vaughan Dingle, just 12 years old, the youngest male. Of course, the vast majority of the entrants in this race that you can see now going through that gate to keep the flow onto the course nice and steady in this half marathon are expats. That is, they come from drive up from Dubai, many of them last night, many of them early this morning. Dubai is about 45 minutes away, an hour away, across the desert to the south. Dubai, of course, just further on along the coast, but to the south. And Dubai, a city that, of course, is a real melting pot of nationalities, but thousands of the entrants here today, the vast majority, are expats who have driven up and who enjoy most of their running back on the streets of Dubai. Well, the elite men coming off the peninsula, negotiating the first roundabout where they'll, I think, go straight across here. Well, this is the one where they take the left-hand turn. Yes, this is where they go 3/4 of the way round and then take the left turn. So that, in fact, was the second roundabout they've negotiated. In the yellow T-shirt, there is Hugh Jones. You may recognise him. He's a course measurer, race director of many big events around the world, including several in India. Hugh Jones, well, he's getting on a bit now. No, Hugh won't mind me saying that. He's north of 60, but so are some of us, the rest of us. Hugh is north of 60, but he was the London Marathon champion many years back. I think 1982, Hugh won the London Marathon in 2 hours 9 minutes. Tough as nails, Hugh Jones. He wasn't a great track runner, didn't have much natural speed, but boy oh boy, if you pointed him at the finish line of a marathon, a sort of point and press missile he was, he would just run through walls to win a race, and he did indeed win plenty of marathons. He was a prolific racer too. Well, Abadi Hadis, there you can see right in the centre of the pack in that dark green vest. He wears number 2 on his back, 58.44 his best, Hadis. And he is a fabulous all-round athlete. He's a great track runner. He's run 12.56 for 5,000 and 26.59 for 10,000. He's a 58.44 half marathon runner, the second fastest ever 20-year-old when he ran that last October for 3rd place in Valencia. So Hadis clearly capable of going quicker. He's only done 2 half marathons. He was 8th in Delhi back in 2017, and then I suppose you could say very sensibly didn't run another half marathon until late last year, when he ran in Valencia on that very, very quick course on the east coast of Spain and produced that 58.44 to make him one of the quickest athletes in history. Didn't run a track 10,000 last year, concentrated on the roads. Back to the ladies, 21 minutes on the clock for them, and they're moving well. To the left of picture, Valari Ayebi won 3 of her 7 half marathons she has. She ran 3 last year in Gifu, 70:11, that was in Japan, then in Kabarak, 73 minutes, in Nairobi she ran at altitude, 72-minute clocking, so I don't think we can read too much into any of those. But she did run 2 great marathons last year, did Valari Jameli Ayebi. There she is, top left of picture in that pink vest. She was 2nd in Nagoya back in March in 2:22, and then she took on Beijing back in the middle of September, where she won in 2:21. She's done 15 marathons, in fact, the 27-year-old, including 5 under 2:25. Concentrating for a moment, though, on Netsnet Gudeta. She is in the pink to the right of picture, right behind the tall figure in yellow, the pacemaker, who is her personal pacemaker. And Gudeta, well, what an athlete she is. World-class at 10,000 metres. World-class in cross-country. She was bronze medalist in the World Cross Country back in 2015 in China. And she's reigning world champion, as I said, in the half marathon, storming to a very, very comfortable victory in Valencia in March last year, and setting a women-only world record in the process. 66:11 is her best. She's looking to better that significantly here today. They've certainly gone out in aggressive fashion, and I can tell you conditions are absolutely perfect. The dew point apparently is 4 degrees. The temperature, well, it's almost chilly this morning. I would say it's around 14, 15 degrees, no warmer. I was walking around in a t-shirt half an hour ago before we came on air, and it was actually quite chilly out here near the start line. You can see the sun has only just come up over to the east, over the Hajar Mountains. So a cool morning, not really warm enough if you're just walking around in a t-shirt, but almost ideal for racing. These are almost Berlin conditions, Berlin-type conditions, and you know I'm referencing the September annual Berlin Marathon, where conditions are just about perfect every year, and where, of course, Eliud Kipchoge broke the world record last September. Was it the 12th of September, I think? So in the white vest is Zainaba Yima, in the middle of the pack towards the back. She's only 20 years old, 4th in Copenhagen in September, but in 66:21 makes her very, very quick indeed. That is her personal best. 5th in the World Half Marathon Championships last year, behind Gudeta. Relatively new to the international racing scene, however. Prior to 2018, she hadn't done a great deal, apart from 1 or 2 races in junior colours. She was 10th in the world under-20 junior cross-country back in 2017 in Uganda. Back to this big men's pack, though, and it is a big men's pack, and we'll bring you their 5K split, of course. We're looking for something from the men here, the lead group, moving at 2:47 per kilometre. and they're hoping to go through 10K in about 27:50. That would put them pretty much inside world record schedule. And that being the case, we're looking for them to get to 5K. Not much outside, 14 minutes really, around 13:55 would do nicely. In the white vest, you can see to the left of the group, that is Julian Wanders. And what a revelation he's been this last couple of years, the 22-year-old Swiss. In Barcelona in February last year, almost exactly a year ago to the day, he ran 60.09. That's his personal best, but we know he's worth a great deal more than that, because Wanders, to the top left of picture, is a European record holder for the roads 10K on the 30th of December, just gone. He ran 27:25 in Paris. Well, it's critical that they keep pushing this pace along. There is no chance to relax when you're moving at 28-minute tempo, and we'll find out if they are in about, 4 minutes' time. Less than that, actually, about 3 minutes' time. They've been running for around 11:25 now. But that is a big pack, isn't it, considering they're moving at something not much outside world record tempo. The world record, by the way, was improved in Valencia, where else, back in late November, with 58.18 by Abraham Kiptum. Well, the men's event record is 13:37. I think that was Merger back in 2011, who went through almost suicidally at that speed. And went on to set a world record for 15K en route. The world record 12:37. That's, of course, by Kenenisa Bekele many years ago on the track. Forget that. That's irrelevant when we're talking about road running, of course. But it's still quite astonishing when you think he ran 12.5 laps at more or less 60.5 per lap. I mean, he virtually put together 3 4-minute miles. Sounds like science fiction compared with when I was running about 30 years back. But then it was all in black and white then. These are beautiful colours being lit up by the early morning sunshine here in Ras Al Khaimah. If you've just joined us, you're watching the 13th edition of the Ras Al Khaimah half marathon. This elite men's field got underway at 7 a.m. about 12.5 minutes ago. The elite women have now been running for almost 28 minutes. They set off at 1:45 the hour. Of course, time in the United Arab Emirates is 4 hours ahead of London, 3 hours ahead of Central Europe, making it, 9 hours ahead of Eastern Time if you're watching us on the eastern seaboard of the USA. The women, 28 minutes on the clock then. And still looking strong. Just trying to see, look for Perez Jepchirchir, and I can't see the athlete who broke the world record back in 2017 here. We know she's not in tip-top shape. She said she hopes she's at about 67, 68-minute shape. And she smiled and giggled yesterday at the press conference, said, well, maybe a little bit quicker, I hope. But I think, you know, if you're coming back from childbirth, Jepchirchir, who is not in shot at the moment, then if she is in 67, 68-minute shape, that would explain why she's... And there, I think, top right of picture, that's her in the pink vest with a pacemaker in blue. So Jepchirchir, what, about 100 metres down? Yes, there she is, Perez Jepchirchir. Became an overnight legend with that storming win in 65.06 here 2 years ago. Still makes her one of the quickest athletes in history. She beat Mary Kaitani into second place. Kaitani was second that year in 65.13. Of course, the world record's been improved by Joycelyn Jepkosgei twice now. 64.52 and then 64.51 in Valencia in 2016 and in 2017 rather. So this pack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ladies in shot, and Pascalia Kipkoech just beginning to drop back. She's going to be isolated now. That could be very difficult for her. She's about 10, 15 meters down on this group. 5 ladies and 3 male pacemakers. Pascalia Kipkoech, who is a 67 athlete, 67-17 athlete, might have bitten off more than she can chew. 30 minutes on the clock. Remember, they went through 5K in 15:32. The target had been 15:25, so they were a few clicks outside that over the first 5 kilometers. What are they going to go through 10 kilometers in here? Now, we're really looking for something around, what, 15:30? So anything around 31 minutes would be absolutely brilliant. It would mean they had clawed back at 3 or 4 seconds, because that first 5K was about 7 seconds outside schedule. So watch that clock at the bottom right-hand of the screen. We're looking for about 31 minutes. 31 minutes dead would be just perfect. Well, 10K will come up very shortly. The men, by the way, have gone through 5K in 14:13. 14:13. Massive pack of men have gone through that in 14:13. Well, the ladies gone through in 31:02 at 10K. 31:02. So they've run 15:30 for that split. It was literally a few strides quicker than the first 5K, but that's not bad. That's a metronomic running. 31:02. However, I can tell you that Joycelyn Jetkowski, when she set her world record in Valencia in October 2017, she went through 10K, wait for it, in 30:07. There are some of the names in this elite pack. Zimaro, Teferi, Gudeta, Yima. We expected all of them to be there. Back to this men's pack then. Running the shortest line. They've just gone through 6 kilometers. Remember that? 5K split, 14:13. And it is a big pack, but Tirop, Wesley Kimutai, Kiptu, these are pacemakers. Daniel Kipchumba, Kichaga, Julian Vanders looking very comfortable. He says his training has got better and better over the last few weeks since that European 10K record in Paris on the 30th of December, 27:25. So he should be comfortable if they go through in around 28 minutes today, 27:50. Abadi Hadis, Haftu, Kipchumba, Combo, all the big names are there. All the athletes we expected to put out a big performance today, who have in the past broken 60 minutes. Goodness me, the strength in depth is quite astonishing. Big prize money too for these men. That is no insignificant matter as an incentive. Well, it will whittle down. There will be men in there who are overstretching themselves through 10K, and then towards 15K they'll be feeling the heat. Not literally the heat, because I think it's not going to be one of those days where, until perhaps later in the morning, the temperature really climbs. But of course, at this time of year, Ras Al Khaimah, the UAE, has really glorious temperatures. If you don't like sweltering heat, but you like temperatures in the mid-20s centigrade, then this is the place to come. A wonderful place for a running weekend away, if you want to get away from the snow and wind and rain and freezing temperatures of much of Europe. I was going to say Northern Europe, but they've had some pretty tough weather. They've had snow in Athens in recent weeks, haven't they? Get away from the European temperatures, come down here and have a running holiday in effect. Just taking a little Sunday or Friday run here on the streets of the UAE. Almost a little bit of tripping going on to the left of the picture there. Okombo in the orange vest, extreme left of the boot. Yoram Okombo, who was 4th here last year in 59:36. He's a prolific racer. He ran 7 half marathons last year. Did Yoram Okombo, the 21-year-old Kenyan. He's the lad who I said, when he set his personal best back in 2017 of 58:48, became the fastest ever 19-year-old However, he was only 19th in Valencia back in October, 61 minutes exactly. Now, that time in itself doesn't sound like a disaster, but when you think he's run well over 2 minutes quicker, then it was a disappointing run from him perhaps there. Had a chat with him on Wednesday here. He comes from the Curaçao district, where his parents still live, up in the Rift Valley. Well, this ladies' pack looking pretty comfortable at the moment, aren't they? I'm very impressed with each of these ladies. Remember, they went through 10K, the ladies in 31.02. Now, if they were to maintain that tempo, 31.02 at 10K, it would bring them home in the half marathon, well, in about 65.30. Yeah, they're still in about 65.30 schedule, as was the case when they went through 5K. They haven't adjusted much yet. There is the former world record holder hanging on to her pacemaker, Perez Jepchirchir. Now, this is going to be tough for her, and this is why it is so important for male pacemakers in some of these races to help the ladies. She has a 15-month-old baby to consider back at home. She was world champion back in 2016 on the streets of Cardiff, the Welsh capital, with 67.31. Indeed, both the last two world champions are running it today. Perez Jepchirchir winning in 2016 in Cardiff, and then, of course, as I've mentioned, Gudeta of Ethiopia, the world champion 2 years later in March last year in Valencia. Well, she is in that leading group, Gudeta. Well, now, well, she'll go as we head off along some of the course with the leading ladies out along the peninsula. The ladies have been running now for 37 minutes, so they're at around 12 kilometers. So they're on Island 2, making a long sweep. It's a beautifully shaped island. It's almost like the blade of a scythe. It's a big right-hand sweep. And then they'll take a left onto Island 3, the northernmost of the islands, where they'll negotiate a couple of roundabouts. But generally speaking, most of the course is like this, really good quality road surface. And no really tight turns to be negotiated, no lumps and bumps, no speed bumps, anything like that. It is pretty much ideal. I say no speed bumps. The odd one. Don't think I've been out that far along the peninsula. What is bizarre about this peninsula, Al Hajam Island, is that there is a tartan running track about 1.5 miles long, goes alongside this road. If you wanted to do a session in spikes, it is quite astonishing. You don't have to do laps of a track here. You can come do your track sessions along this strip of road, where there is a long, wide, about 8 feet wide, about 2.5 meters wide stretch of red tartan, a rubber track that you can run on in running spikes. And I haven't seen too many of those around the planet in my travels. Well, that sun gradually climbing higher. The long shadows will shorten, but it won't get hot while these athletes are out there. The ladies are well past halfway now in their race this morning. They do need to start cranking it along now. I wonder if there's communication going on between the pacemakers and the pack. I haven't seen any talking or discussion, but in this third quarter that they're well into now, I would like to see them turn the screw a little bit and test this group. One could argue it's a great race at the moment, but it's not that quick, or not as quick as was hoped for against the clock. Remember, first 5K 15.32, second 5K 15.30 to get them to 10K in 31.02. Now, if they were to run another 15.30, then obviously they would be at around 46.30 at 15K. Well, in her world record, Joycelyn Jepkosgei at 15K was 45.57, so they'd be some 30 or 35 seconds outside world record, the world record split of Jepkosgei from, 18 months or so back. Well, the ladies' event record for 15K is 46.07. That was set by Fancy Chemutai last year, during which there was a 10 miles world record set here in Rack last year, 49.32, I think it was, and that still stands. But 5 ladies there, moving along at around 65.30 tempo. It is fabulously quick. In the background, you can see Pascalia Kipkoech isolated and gradually being caught by Perez Jepchirchir with her pacemaker. So just over 40.5 minutes on the clock. And I do wonder if any of these ladies is going to shout at one of the pacemakers and say, right, I'm feeling good here. I'm well into the third quarter, 41 minutes on the clock, more or less. Let's get cracking, let's get moving. I know I've got more in me. But then they are also thinking about the race, and to be fair, that I suppose has to be their first priority. Winning the race, getting up there as high as possible. Here's the chaser, Pascalia Kipkoech, who actually is still moving very well indeed.
Stay.
You could call this, in effect, well, they do in running terminology, the second group, but it's just Pascalia Kipkoech, the 30-year-old, all on her own. She's a half-marathon specialist. She's done at least 32 half-marathons since 2008 that I can count. Set that personal best in Rio in 2012, 67.17. Last year, 69.23 in Yangzhou. That was third place in Yangzhou in China, and in 2017 her best was 68.23. That was the 7th place in Copenhagen. So it's been a little while since she's gone sub 68 minutes. But I was impressed with how well Pascalia Kipkoech was moving just then, considering she's running solo. For these ladies, it's a much simpler task in a way when you're latched on to the coattails of big, wind-breaking pacemakers. Here they come at, what, around 13 kilometres, taking a sharp left turn. In fact, around 13.5 kilometres, that is, yes. There you can see Island 3. This will all be built on. It'll have hotels and residential properties, be covered in palm trees and become very green in years to come. Apparently 95% of the infrastructure is in place on this Al Marjan Island, as they're calling it, although it is a series of 4 little islets joined together by bridges. But that, I think the sweeps and the curves like that are quite majestic. You can see those man-made bays and that little harbour there, top right of picture. Absolutely gorgeous. And these beaches, while man-made, tick the box for me. 10 kilometres for the men then. And they go through the men in 28.10. Well, again, a little bit about outside what was requested, but 28.10 is not too bad. And in fact, I can tell you that in his world record, Abraham Kiptum went through in 28.02 back in Valencia last October. The only thing is that his second 10K was a quite astonishing 27.16 in Valencia, and there's talk about the conditions in Valencia being very favourable for a quick second half. He ran 27.16 for his return leg between 10 and 20K, Kiptum, in Valencia. And at the World Half Marathon Championships in March last year, Jeffrey Camworall ran his last 5K in 13.01. And I think most people that day acknowledged he had an absolute gale blowing up behind him to carry him to that quite staggering road racing split. But they are a long way outside average pace for the world record now with 28.10, having gone through 5K, these men, remember, in 14.13. So they, to be fair, they have just run a 13.57, but the damage was done to some extent, if I can use that phrase, by that first 5K being quite a lot slower than they wanted. Remember, we were hoping for around 27.50 at 10K. They're 20 seconds outside that. They were looking for 2:47 per kilometre here today. So 28:10 is not disastrous. We could still be heading for a very quick half marathon time. Let's not take anything away from these men. 28:10, well, should bring them home in around 59.5 minutes, and that's a big pack, and I think there's plenty of racing to come, so they might well run what are in effect negative splits, and that means a quicker second half than their first half. Haftu is tucked in there, isn't he? Very, very closely. Figaro Haftu right in the centre of that pack. Only 23rd in Valencia last October, the 24-year-old, in 61.53. He was third last in 2017 in Valencia, then his personal best in 59.22. So he is well capable of going right down there towards 59 minutes. But he'll need to, I think, to win today. Just look and see who that is top right, who's beginning to struggle. Can't quite see who that is who's dropping away off the pack. What I could hear was Hugh Jones instructing somebody to step back off the course. Gachaga and Walalen are there. Yeah, it's Lemma. Lemma it is who is dropping back off the pack. And Cisse Lemma, well, his personal best is only 62.06. He's already heading surely for a time much, much quicker than that. He's very much an athlete who concentrates on the marathon. He's done at least 16, Lemma, the 28-year-old Ethiopian. Cisse Lemma, he's a 2:04 marathon runner. He was 5th in Dubai last year with that personal best, 2:04.08. And also last year he won in Ljubljana, last October actually, 2:04.58. So he's a fabulous marathon runner who really just doesn't focus as much as many others on getting half marathons right. Doesn't feel it's necessary, I suppose. And of course, everybody has their own. They have a unique way of preparing for these big races. So who are we to criticise his focusing on the marathon rather than the half marathon? But Lemma the first to drop away from that big pack in this mid-race stage for the men. Well, there's the 15k split for the ladies, and 46.43 for the ladies for that lead pack. So 46.43 means they've just run a very slow 15.41 for that third 5k. They have slowed down dramatically in that section of the ladies. 46.43. Well, that goes against the 15k split during Jep Koskai's world record of 45.57. So not quite sure what's gone wrong there, whether the pacemakers have misjudged things or if the ladies have said to them, can you slow down or what? But they've gone 15.32 the first 5k, 15.30 the second 5k, and then 15.41. So they've lost over 10 seconds in that last 5k, between 10 and 15. We've still got 5 ladies there, mind you, behind this trio of pacemakers who generally have done a fabulous job. Zaineba Yimer in the white vest is still there. Looking comfortable. Valerie Ayebe is also there as well. Netsene Gudeta also looking strong at 15k. Very strong indeed, and those powerful legs of hers in that pink vest. And I think Azimaro is another athlete, also tucked in behind the... Oh no, it's yes, it is Dejitu Azimaro, the 20-year-old who's tucked in behind the pacemaker in yellow. And at the back of the group, I think it's no, it's Valerie Ayebe at the back of the group. Just trying to see who the lady is to the left of the group, in the reddish vest behind the pacemaker in that black singlet. almost 50 minutes on the clock, and this will be very close to 10 miles, by the way, so that gives you an idea of how well they are running. I'm saying they're outside schedule. I don't want to be critical because they are moving incredibly quickly for female marathon runners. It's yes, Ayabi. Well, back to this chasing group, and it is now a chasing group because Pascalia Kipkoech has been caught by the former world record holder, the 2017 champion here in Ras Al Khaimah, Perez Jepchirchir, and that pacemaker. Now, maybe that pacemaker can help the pair of them now. That would be fairer, wouldn't it? Jepchirchir hanging on to Kipkoech, and that's probably good for the pair of them. And looking at the 15K, Pascalia Kipkoech 47.33, so they are 50 seconds back on the lead pack, this pair. They're quite a long way back, probably about 300 metres, 250 metres. Back to this men's lead group, though. And it's beginning to show, isn't it, the strain. 36 minutes on the clock. And one or two athletes peeling away. Hadis now to the right of picture, pushing it along. Haftu looking comfortable height beside him. Kiprop, Stephen Kiprop, the 20-year-old Kenyan there, to left of picture. 59.21, he ran for 5th place in Valencia last October. No results for him, by the way, prior to 2018. He's had a meteoric rise into the big time. He won his debut at Venlo in the Netherlands last March in 59.44, and then improved with that personal best in Valencia via a race in the Czech Republic. 3 races last year he ran at half marathon, all of them a long way under 60 minutes. Stephen Kiprop, there he is to the left of the group as we look at them in the orange vest. Also looking strong, Daniel Kipchumba in the white vest. So the men, 37 minutes on the clock. We're looking for a 5K, 15K split for them. Something around 42 minutes would be fabulous. Hadis now just beginning to impose himself, isn't he? This is the racing. Look, it's becoming single file. There's a noticeable acceleration here. Wanders in the white vest, striding out, trying to go with this surge. The necklace bouncing from side to side on the chest of Hadis. A little glance over his shoulder. He's trying to see what sort of damage this is doing. And Kiprop right up alongside him. And sometimes in racing situations, I'm not suggesting it's a nice thing to do, but athletes will purposely just nudge the elbow of the guy slightly to one side of them or slightly in front of them to let them know he's there. And of course it messes up your coordination, your balance. It's quite off-putting, but it also lets you know that the athlete beside you is not only right with you, but almost running into the back of you psychologically and subconsciously. Perhaps it almost says, you're not going fast enough. I'm not, oh, sorry, I banged into you. It's accidentally on purpose. You're just not quite going quick enough, mate.
Quick.
That's a tough little corner to negotiate there, but they do so very well indeed. And Hadis has reduced this to single file. He really has turned it on here. Wanders responded well to this as well. The top European road racer at the moment. Who knows how Mo Farah will go in London. Kiprop also going well. Tucked in behind Hadis. He's responding to this surge, stride for stride. Valalain there. Valalain has had to ease off. And look at this. It has really ripped that field asunder, this surge over the last couple of minutes. From Abadi Hadis, the 21-year-old has turned the screw in dramatic style with around 36, 37 minutes on the clock. And only 3 or 4 athletes have been able to respond. And he continues to apply the pressure. He's breaking away now. This is going to be a spectacular split for this third 5K, because you can see the athletes back there have to. It is also back there in 3rd, 4th and 5th. They're struggling to go with this. Wanders and have to. And is that a combo, I think, back there as well? Well, the brand new golden sands of this island, the Al Marjan Island, surround these athletes as they make their way through this third court and negotiate this third court for the men's race. And Hadis is absolutely blasting along the roads of Ras Al Khaimah now. He's run 4 cross countries in recent months, Abadi Hadis. Ran one in October, one in November, and then 2 last month in January, so he's race fit, and I like to see that. Most athletes benefit from having a series of races. And look, he's zigzagging all over the road here to try and lose Kiprop. Kiprop tucked in there, right behind him, and his slipstream is determined to hang on. And that was a very unusual wide sweep zigzag there from Hadis to try and shake off the Kenyan. I think he'd be better off just keeping his head down, because if Kiprop was that comfortable, he'd come past him and try and break the Ethiopian, but he's not. He's hanging on to the coattails of Abadi Hadis. And distance running is a patience game. You've got to just get your head down and keep working away. Keep slugging away. Try and make the men behind you punch drunk, so they have to let go. But Kiprop, it's almost like he's tied to the back of that green vest of Hadis by a short strip of elastic, isn't it? Stride for stride. And this will be sub 28-minute speed. Remember, they went through 10K in 28:10. Well, I'm looking for their 15-kilometer split here. It's going to be spectacular. In his world record, Kiptum got through to 15K in 41:40. Well, they've passed that now. It won't be long. There it is, 41:48 for Abadi Hadis. Wow! 41:48. Goodness me. 13:38. They've covered that last 5K in. The 5K between 10 and 15 kilometers in 13:38. This is becoming Kiptum-esque. It's becoming similar to the way the race Abraham Kiptum in Valencia last October unfolded. 41:48. They're getting within sight of the world record. Never mind about the course record. The course record here, remember, 58:42 by Bidan Karoki last year. Fabulous win that was by Bidan Karoki, 58:42. There's the 15K split. Hadis, Kiprop, Haftu, Wanders, and Gachaga it is who is also there. So, 2 men away, Hadis and Kiprop. Behind them, that trio of Haftu, Wanders, and Gachaga. And then 4 seconds further back, Walalane. And Group 3, in effect, Walalane, Wazihun, Kipchumba. And Kiptu also hanging in there, although he's beginning to lose ground. So, the men's race building nicely, really beginning to bubble, being brought to a boil by the aggressive running of Abadi Hadis back in this women's race. Well, it has broken down a little bit, hasn't it? Dejitu Zimaro, topper picture in the blue vest, has had to let go. She's hung on incredibly stubbornly, the 20-year-old. 59 minutes on the clock for the ladies. They've got about a mile to run, about 1.5 kilometers to run. We're looking for a winning time, remember, of around 65:30, something like that, although that 15K time was has certainly slowed things. Let's just check the charts and see what they predict. 19 kilometers, they have got 2K to go. So with 59:29, 59:30 on the clock, they're going to be running, yes, something inside 66 minutes perhaps. It's still going to be very quick indeed for these ladies. Well, I reckon they're going to be running, yes, around 66 minutes flat, something like that. This leading group, unless they really kick on over this next couple of kilometres. But interesting, isn't it, that Net Gudeta looks so in control there in the centre. Net on her best. 18 kilometres for the ladies in 56.07. So they've covered the last 3K in what? Gosh, my maths. 24. Something like 9:24. Haven't really kicked on hard. And I think each of them is too aware of the other pair. Senberi Teferi to the left of picture in the orange. Net Gudeta centre in the orange. And Zaineba Yima in the white. The pacemaker, Lalisa Kebede. He is the personal pacemaker of Net Gudeta. He's done a great job. All the pacemakers have today in both women's and men's races. But my own feeling is that at this stage now, the pacemaker perhaps should step aside. They've got about 4.5 minutes of running to go, 5 minutes of running to go, and let them race it out. Net Gudeta then. Not an attractive looking running style, is it? Those arms flailing across her chest, left to right. She checks her watch with 61:52 on the clock, and these three locked together. All Ethiopian, of course. Gudeta, Net Gudeta in the centre, is the most experienced. She's the senior partner of the trio, 27 years old, the reigning world champion. Teferi, to the left of picture, is just 23. Yima, Zaineba Yima, is just 20 years old. She's a real youngster. Well, 100 metres to run. They last year, as the athletes came into the finishing straight and the race was won by Fancy Chemutai from Mary Kaitani, they turned a curve with about 150 metres to go. Didn't realise they were so close to the world record, and they missed it by a second. This year, the organisers have got 100-metre markers for the last 500 metres out. 500 to go, 400 to go, 300 to go. So the athletes absolutely cannot claim that they are unaware of how far the finish line is away. So there you can see Azimaro back in 4th place, trying to isolate herself from anybody else as this car roars up to this leading trio of ladies, and as if he was listening, the pacemaker Lalisa Kebede Geramu has dropped back. 20 kilometres then for the ladies in 62:26. Well, in her world record, Joycelyn Jepkosgei went through 20k in 61:28, so they're almost exactly a minute, 58 seconds outside Jepkosgei's world record split. Forget the world record, this is still going to be a fabulously quick time. Won't be a course record, but it will be a great mass finish between these three. They've got about a kilometre to go, and they are pushing on very hard here, but none of them looks, to my money, for my money, to have really let rip yet. Gudeta, Teferi, Yima. And then in 4th place, Azimaro. So who is going to have the legs? Who is going to have the speed as they come through? I think that's the 500 metres to go marker. They're just passing now. deep in concentration, these three athletes. The chase going on behind, two more ladies, only about 100 meters back, looking really strong. 400 meters to run. It's getting closer and closer here. The shadows shortening, the sun rising, the pressure rising on these three. What a run it's been. 10K in 31:02, 20K 62:26, so 31:24 for that second 10K. Still very, very fast running indeed. It's so easy to compare too often these top athletes with world records. They begin their sprint for the line now. A couple 100 meters to run. Next, Gudeta, the women's only world record holder and world champion, back in third place. Looks like she might be beaten here today. Has she got the legs? I'm not sure she does. Senbere Teferi sprints towards the line. This is her debut, and what a debut it is for her. She's going to win here in this 13th edition of the Ras Al Khaimah half marathon. Unofficially there in 65:44. Wow! Yima finished in third place.
66 minutes.
That was quick. Gudeta finishing in second place. 65:45. That is yet to be confirmed, even though we bring it up on screen. Absolutely supreme.
Has delivered.
It is the quickest time in the world this year. Bridget Koskay in Houston running 65:50 back on the 20th of January. 65:45 betters it by 5 seconds here today. And Senbere Teferi, just 23 years old, in her first ever half marathon, sprints to victory. I think she's only just beginning to realise the enormity of her achievement. Her debut over the half marathon distance. We knew it was coming. She is a fabulous track runner. She's run 8:32 for 3,000, 14:23 for 5,000, 30:40 for 10,000. And listen, she's run a 2:24 marathon. She's got great track speed right down to the middle distances. And now she's ticked another important box with a fabulous win here in the Ras Al Khaimah half marathon. 65:45 unofficially her winning time. Back to this men's race though, 52 minutes on the clock, around what, some 6-7 minutes of, probably 7 minutes of running to come as Haddis continues to push. And still he has that stubborn company of Stephen Kiprop tucked in behind him. Looks to me a little bit like they might have eased off a little bit. 18 kilometers then in 50:11. And Kiprop that's he hanging on to Haddis so stubbornly for these last few kilometers, but he hasn't taken the lead. And then the chasing group, well, there's Wonders and Hafdu at 18K. They're 9 seconds down, and Gachaga just a couple of seconds back is isolated. And behind Gachaga, Walalane and Kipchumba, they're all isolated now, aren't they? Tough running in these last few kilometers for these male elite, because Haddis's injection of pace was quite extreme over the space of a couple 100 meters. He upped the tempo very significantly indeed, and he tore the field apart. Well, here is Wonders with Hafdu, 9 seconds back at 18 kilometers. They're in third and fourth.
Stay.
And Fikaru Hafdu, well, he's a 59:22 performer. That was back in Valencia in 2017. It wasn't a great year for him until his personal best in September that year. He's struggled through much of 2017 and then fought himself into shape by the September and that ran that personal best. And then in 2016, he'd only been 13th in Copenhagen in 61:02. But he is only 24. He's growing in stature all the time, Hafdu, and he's battling with Wonders for third and fourth. But this is Haddis now. Again, he seems to have got his head down. I think he's accelerated once more. He's probably getting frustrated with the attentions of Stephen Kiprop. Haddis is 21. Kiprop is only 20. They're youngsters. They have fabulous careers ahead of them already, although Haddis has already achieved so much. He was 15th in the Rio Olympic 10,000 meters. He was 7th the following year in the London World Championship 10,000 metres. The men's events record at 20k, by the way, which they're approaching now, is a 55.38. And the world record 55.21. So you can forget that world record. But what are they going to get through 20k in? Yes, the official winning time of Senberi Teferi is 65.45. Very, very crisp indeed, if not a course record. But the men coming towards 20k now. And he checks his watch there. Does Hadis with that accentuated arm movement, that jangling necklace. And Stephen Kiprop must be aware that this tactic, tucked right in the slipstream of Hadis, is frustrating. There's a little psychological warfare going on here. Hadis, a little zigzag there. Kiprop, though, a little bit of a grimace on his face, and if Hadis could see that, and he's not really getting any feedback, because when somebody's right behind you like that, you get no body language signals from them. And is that a gap developing? Has he broken him at last? Is he getting the reward for his hard work? 55.46 at 20k. Well, I can tell you that Kiptum in his world record is 55.18. That was a world record by 3 seconds. But 55.46 is still mighty quick at 20k. That is Hadis and Kiprop. Wonders back with Haftu locked together. They're, what, 17 seconds back? Such has been the aggressive running here of Hadis. And there's that gap is growing. It's a couple of meters now. Wonders having a real ding-dong with Haftu, isn't he? 5 minutes ago, the Ethiopian Fikru Haftu had moved into third place, and he was the aggressor. Now, Switzerland's Julian Wonders is in third place. And no small matter of surely a fabulously quick time, and perhaps a European record coming the way of Julian Wonders. Mo Farah's European record, remember, 59.32 from Lisbon just over 3 years ago. Hadis may have the win in the bag because he's pouring it on here. And I tell you what, when you notice a little gap like that appears after having worked so hard against a stubborn opponent for 15, 20 minutes or more, when you notice a little gap appears, it just gives you that little injection of adrenaline, because you think to yourself, yes, I've got him. And he has got him, surely here. That is a telling gap. Stephen Kiprop has clung on so stubbornly for the last few kilometres. But Hadis now, with 57.47 on the clock, is sprinting like mad. He's giving it everything here. The world record is 58.18. That surely is out of reach. But it's going to be quick. He might break 59 minutes here today. Well, it is going to be quick. There's absolutely no doubt about it. The fastest time here in RAC is 58.42. I think that might even be beyond him here today. But it's going to be one of the quickest ever. Patrick McCow in 2009 running 58.52 behind Karoki's course event record 58.42. And Haftu has kicked away from Wonders. He's turned the tables on the Swiss. Wow, Wonders here in fourth place, trying to give it everything. And look at the clock. This is going to be quick. Boy, oh boy, striding towards the line. It is a win. He's turned the tables over the last 100 metres. Stephen Kiprop, 58.45 unofficially, 58.42. Unbelievable. 58.42 for Stephen Kiprop there. He turned the tables with in dramatic style on Hadis. There was nothing Hadis could do about that. And if it is 58.42, that is exactly on the head. Hits the nail on the head of the course record set last year by Bidan Karoki. It makes him one of the quickest men in history. 58.42, well, it puts him right up there in the top 10 all time. Makes him 9th equal all time, or 8th equal all time, in fact, with Bidan Karoki and Eric Kiptanui. The rest of them sprinting home, and let's get those times through as they come across the line. Julian Wonders 59.13 in 4th place. That's a fabulous new European record for Wonders. His 4th European record over the last 12 months. Fikadu Haftu 59.08 in 2nd. Abadi Hadis in 3rd, rather. Haftu Hadis 58.44. Wow. Hard to find superlatives for racing of that caliber. Hadis 58.44. There it is. The top 10 for you. And the first 10 at least under 60 minutes. I can tell you that Ozbilen of Turkey 59.48 in 11th place. That is a new Turkish record, I think. Yes, it is indeed. And in 12th place, Edwin Kiprop Kiptu, getting 60 minutes 20. Very, very quick running indeed out there. Fabulous are these leading men. So the first 11 men in RAC under 60 minutes. They're making it look a formality almost. We missed that finishing sprint of Stephen Kiprop, of course, as he eased past Abadi Hadis over the last 100 meters or so. But boy, oh boy, RAC has delivered yet again in spectacular style in 2019. Let me read those top 3 for you again in the men's race. Stephen Kiprop 58.42, Abadi Hadis 58.44. In 3rd place, Fikru Haftu 59.08. And then in 4th place, 59.13 by Julian Wonders, a Swiss and European record. Well, confirmation of that win for Senberi Teferi of Ethiopia in her debut. 65.45 here in Ras Al Khaimah. Couldn't be separated almost at the line, certainly by the clock, from net-to-net Gudeta, the reigning world champion. She too on 65.45. Zainab Ayima, 65.46 there. Big personal best for her in 3rd. And Dejitu Zimro, 66.07 at the age of 20, setting a new personal best as well. And in 5th place, also under 67 minutes, is Valerie Jameli Ayebi. So the first 3 athletes under 66 minutes in Ras Al Khaimah today in the women's race. A 1, 2, 3, 4 for Ethiopia. Behind that, next 4 Kenyans in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Well, here it is again. Here is that sprint over the last 400 meters from the leading trio of ladies. 1, 2, 3 for Ethiopia. Who was it going to be? Teferi to the left of picture. In the middle of the trio, the reigning world champion, Gudeta. Yima to the right of picture. Saneba Yima. They've got their first names on their bibs as they sprinted for the line. And Netzanet Gudeta just didn't quite have the speed on this occasion to go with the younger competitors ahead of her as they strode towards the line. The relaxed, forward-leaning style of Senberi Teferi carried her clear of Zeneba Yima in the white vest. Netzanet Gudeta gathered herself though over the last 50 or 70 meters, managed to ease in 2nd place, but there is the form, beginning to drive hard with her arms towards the line. A very close finish here in Ras Al Khaimah this year in the women's race, won by Senberi Teferi, 65.45 from Gudeta, with Yima on 65.46 in 3rd place. Brilliant racing from the ladies. Clearly exhausted here in the early morning sunshine of Ras Al Khaimah. It's still only just gone 8 o'clock in the morning. And confirmation of that men's race result. Stephen Kiprop, 58.42, equaling the course record. Abadi Hadis, who did so much of the hard work in the second half, 58.44. Fikru Haftu, 59.08 in third place. Julian Wonders, that's a new European record in fourth place for the Swiss athlete. What a week he's had. He only came in a couple of days ago from his training base in Kenya, in E10, where he trains under his long-time coach he's been with since he was 15, Marco Yaga. What a great pairing they have become. And this was indeed his fourth European record inside 12 months. Maurice Kachaga, 59.22. Great running for Machaga. That's a personal best for him. Moulay Wazihun in sixth place, 59.34 for Wazihun. That is a personal best for him by 10 seconds. And here is the finishing stages of that men's race. And this time we can show you that sprint. Stephen Kiprop, well, he looked beaten here. I was convinced Abadi Hadis had this one in the bag. The 21-year-old Ethiopian heading here for an equaling of his lifetime best of 58.44, but he did not know what was coming at him from behind in the figure of the rocket of Stephen Kiprop, the 20-year-old. 59.21 from Kiprop was his personal best. Look at this gathering of tempo, eases past Hadis, who's in shock here. He's a fabulous track runner, Hadis, but Stephen Kiprop, where did he find this sprint from? The determination, the guts to give it everything and open up a gap on the Ethiopian to make it a win for Kenya in the men's race in Ras Al Khaimah 2013. Fabulous form coming towards the line there from Stephen Kiprop to win in 58.42. Well, that from him, a personal best by 39 seconds. And has got the presence of mind just to check his watch. I think he can't believe it. I love it when athletes, there's 1,000 clocks on them. There's a timing system, mechanism that costs a lot of money to insert into these races, but they have to have their own little wristwatch going at the same time. And he's got proof on his wrist of just how quickly he ran here today. Kiprop then, I think he had almost thrown in the towel and then suddenly decided I can find one more level of pain, one more level of speed, one more level of gritting my teeth to sprint for the line here. Surely with 150 meters to go, he was a beaten man. And then he saw the line and sprinted, eased past Hadis, who just had no response. Didn't really have much time to respond, Hadis. The 1-2 there, just 2 seconds separating the Kenyan and the Ethiopian in first and second. Absolutely brilliant stuff from the leading men. Well, the thousands out on the roads behind them, enjoying their Friday morning in the sun, of course, in Arabia. Friday and Saturday is the weekend. Sunday is a normal work day. Not only that, but Friday is the Sunday, if you know what I mean. Friday and Saturday is their weekend, but they reverse the significance of the 2 days. So Friday becomes Sunday, and Saturday becomes the first day of the weekend, if you know what I mean. I hope you gather.
Hello.
If you're still with me.
How are you? Good?
So, I'm still out of breath at the closing speed of those
Hello.
elite men and the women. The men went through 10K in 28.10. I can tell you that the second 10K of the men was a long, long way under 28 minutes. In fact, it looks like 27-26 was the split for the second 10K in that men's race, led by Abadi Hadis. We'll just have to double check my maths here, but 28:10 and 27:26. That's not quite right.
Come on.
It's easy for you sitting at home working it out.
Hi. Hi. Yeah.
Yeah, I get 28:10 and 27:26 for their two 10K sections. Except that would give them 58:36. Never mind, you get my drift. Fabulously quick 10 kilometre segment in the men's race here today. Yeah, 27:36, I can confirm for you, was the second 10 kilometres with Abadi Haddis doing all the work. Stephen Kiprop clinging onto his coattails as we see the masses enjoying their morning. Some of them, of course, are relay runners. We'll be handing over the wristband to their next runner, teams of 4. And there are 584 athletes in the team relay, some 148 four-man teams. But comforting to know, isn't it, that this new course has great things in store in years to come for both the men and the women elite athletes. And if anything, both times, winning times in the men's and women's races today were in spite of the relatively slow early pace. Remember that when men went off in 28:10 for their first 10K, and they were looking for, well, something well inside 28 minutes. And the ladies, well, they set off at 31:02, and they were looking for something down around well, significantly quicker than that, around 31:45, 30:45, 30:50. So they were some 15 or 20 seconds outside the target time, as were the men at 10K.
Hi.
Good athletes still coming home in these two races, battling for personal bests, of course. Ladies have been running for 1 hour 27 now. The Massfield have been running for 1 hour, almost 1 hour 13 minutes. I was in Lagos, Nigeria last weekend.
Hello.
There was a marathon there on the Saturday, and it was around 27, 28 degrees centigrade and very humid for the marathon. And there were plenty of athletes running in tracksuit bottoms, can you believe? It was a sweltering hot day, very humid. I was out there with my American colleague, Lewis Johnson, and in the high humidity of the Nigerian coastal city, Lagos, so many athletes running in tights or leggings of some kind. And guess what? They didn't look comfortable coming down the finishing straight in 4, 5, 6 hours. But the athletes' hotel, the elite athletes' hotel to the right of picture, just in that shot, and the finish line is literally about 80 or 100 meters away across the road. The logistics here are absolutely perfect for the elite athletes, for the masses as well. The number of hotels on this island growing all the time, on this Al Marjan island, growing all the time. And in years to come, I really do believe this race will become a mecca for athletes from further afield, particularly from Europe, where the temperatures at the moment are decidedly cool and antisocial. Here they are absolutely perfect for running. I mean, the temperature here in Ras Al Khaimah at the moment is around 14-15 degrees. It's still a low sun in the sky, as you can tell from those shadows. It will climb up through the day towards 20 and then well beyond 20 degrees centigrade. And if you're listening to me in the USA or anywhere else where you prefer the US dollar version of temperature, well, it's 57 degrees Fahrenheit here in Ras Al Khaimah at the moment. And just as a reference point for you, when I was in Lagos last weekend, right now in Lagos, down near the equator, it's 81 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 27 centigrade. I don't think it ever gets cold there. It is cold in Chicago. Minus 10 degrees centigrade at the moment, 14 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, they have never had temperatures like that in these parts, I can assure you that. Very, very occasionally, up at the top of the Hajar Mountains, a few kilometers away, they get some snow. But that is so rare, and in fact, you can head up there later on this afternoon if you're here in the UAE watching this, and enjoy the longest zip wire ride in the world. I think it's a couple of kilometers long, goes across a huge mountain valley. You can watch videos of that online. The zip wire in the Hajar Mountains of Ras Al Khaimah is one of the great tourist attractions of the region, quite aside from the glorious beaches and glorious running conditions and the sun. Special for anybody from the Northern Hemisphere at this time of year, just to say those words. The lovely sunshine here in Ras Al Khaimah. Well, let's take a look at the very best action from earlier on this morning. The ladies got underway at 6:45 local time, this relatively small but high caliber elite women's field. The local dignitaries present were assisting the athletes, getting them underway, the men as well. And that massive men's field leading the field of some 3,000 away after the start had been set by Sheikh Saud bin Sakar Al Kazimi and his son Sheikh Mohammed bin Saud Al Kazimi. The sun had yet to come up properly as the men got underway, or the mass field got underway, I should say, behind them. But gradually it got brighter and brighter. It's gradually got warmer and warmer. It was decidedly chilly when the ladies set off, probably around 12 degrees centigrade, no more. But as the day has worn on, so the temperature has climbed, and so the race is heated up at the front end for the ladies. That small pack easing away from the rest. Well, many athletes, of course, not worried about their time so much as just getting round. But for the elite athletes, the places and their times matter oh so much. The men's race, well, a big pack went through 10 kilometers in 28:10, a little way outside the tempo that had been requested or had been planned. But boy, oh boy, did it come alight through the second half with a second 10 kilometers of 27:26, with the aggressive running all being done by the fastest man in the field and pre-race favourite Abadi Haddis of Ethiopia, who was eventually out-sprinted by Stephen Kiprop. In the women's race, that group of 5 ladies with 3 pacemakers stayed together for a long time. The enthusiasm further back down the road was almost tangible. And the army of volunteers to whom a huge word of thanks must go out, doing a great job along the course at the different water stations, the medical stations as well. The whole emirate pulled together to put this world-class marathon on each year. And what a good job they've done in 2019 to maintain the tradition of fabulous racing and fast times on the streets of Ras Al Khaimah, and all on this brand new venue, the glorious Al Marjan Island, or series of little islets, as I like to describe it, because that is really what it is. But it's aesthetically quite glorious from the air, and at ground level, fabulous too. And fabulous for one or two other athletes here today as well. As Senberi Teferi won in her debut at the half marathon distance, the 23-year-old Ethiopian, storming to victory in 65.45, ahead of the world champion Netanet Gudeta. And in the men's race, well, Abadi Haddis, I thought he had it in the bag. He led throughout the second half of the race, disintegrating the leading pack that had looked very comfortable through 10, 11, 12 kilometers. His second 10K was an astonishing 27.26 to lead through 20k and through 21k, and then sprint for the tape in what we thought was an assured victory. And then this happened. Stephen Kiprop in the orange for Kenya, at the age of 20, finding the power and the leg speed, the freshness to sprint towards the tape and past the Ethiopian to break the tape in 58.42, exactly the same time as the course record set last year by his compatriot Bidan Karoki. Well, playtime for some, still race time for many others. The masses are out there on the course. Some are finding it a little bit too much to keep running and just settling down to a little stroll mid-race, perhaps, in between sections of jogging. But this race will get bigger in years to come. There will come a point, I'm sure, where Nathan Clayton, the race director, has to consider starting the race in waves, setting the athletes a lot off in different ways to take the pressure off the course, because there's not, as that course is laid out at the moment, a great deal of spare width with that density of runners on the road, as you can see. In other sections of the race, there is plenty of width, and actually, to be fair, that one lane section is only for 100 meters or so in a couple of places.
Come on, fast.
Well, plenty of smiles back down the fields. These athletes get their 21 kilometers done, moving considerably quicker, I think, than you do in Dubai rush hour traffic. Well, that's just going back to that men's race, the 20 kilometer split of 55.46 was almost in the top half dozen or so times ever. I think it is in the top 10 times ever for 20k.
Love the bike.
And Haddis
Nice
responsible for so much of that.
Oh my God, great job, man.
So many athletes, joggers, club runners, whatever you want to describe them as, getting on camera perhaps for the first time mid-race in Ras Al Khaimah 2019. The back at base, back at the start-finish area, the presentations are being prepared with the Sheikh Saud bin Sakr Al Kazimi and his son, who I'm sure will assist in those presentations. Well, there to the bottom right of picture is the building in which the media centre and VIP lounge are positioned. That is a structure put up specifically for the race, that dark red roofed structure. And the hotel there in picture is the main hotel, the Hilton Doubletree, that is a fabulous host venue for the elite athletes. The restaurant has quite superb spread of food for every meal, and the beach is about 50 yards away if you're interested, and a little bit of relaxing on a sunbed as well. And the water, just in case you're curious, is lovely and mild. It's a perfect temperature for swimming in. 182 coming in to finish her race, and looking very good. Katie Allside, I think I heard Rob describe her as there. Yes, Katie Hallside of Great Britain, 1:23.52 coming home there. Masters athlete number 3, and that is a personal best for her by 7 seconds on last year's time. Well, there you can see in the towards the middle top of picture, that's the Island 1. The hotel is actually on the mainland, the part of the peninsula coming off the mainland, and then you can see that first bridge just beyond the hotel that crosses them onto the first island, which is going to have a massive hotel built on it, and that beach to top right of picture. And then there's another, as you can see, another small bridge near the top of the picture that crosses onto that big sweeping right-hand curve. That's Island 2. And then Island 3 is top right of picture, just coming into view, and Island 4 is top left of picture. It is a quite supreme complex, not dissimilar in its feel to the monstrous Palm development of Dubai itself, but this one is not symmetrical, and I like the fact that it has this weird shape to it. And if you go onto a map, a satellite map, and take a look at it, it is quite striking. It almost looks like a disassembled clock in parts, with cogs in some respects, but really glorious with that bay with the Gulf waters being refreshed all the time, being the most glorious temperature for swimming at the moment. A variety of bars and restaurants and pools to enjoy as well. And of course some of those blocks that we've just come into view to right of picture are residential blocks. And almost the ideal commute if you live here and work in Dubai, about an hour away across the desert. Dubai, of course, a monstrous melting pot of nationalities, but a huge hub of business and tourism as well. Well, this gives you a good idea of the mass runner experience for the majority of the race here in Ras Al Khaimah. Great road surface, glorious sunshine, no breeze today. There were very strong winds here, incidentally, on Wednesday. I got in here in the early hours of Wednesday morning, and the winds were incredibly strong, and it was actually quite chilly through Wednesday. And then yesterday, Thursday, it eased up dramatically. It was a lovely still day, and this morning looks absolutely perfect here in Ras Al Khaimah. This is the weather we're more used to. I think only perhaps once in the previous 12 years prior to today have I known a windy Ras Al Khaimah half marathon, and it did affect times quite dramatically because, of course, so much of this route is exposed to the elements. But the good news is that, well, probably 95% of the time here, the elements are incredibly user-friendly, absolutely glorious. Swiss cowbells seems rather appropriate, doesn't it? Because one of the standout performances here today, if you've just joined me in the last few minutes, was the fourth place time of Julian Wanders of Switzerland, who set a new European record of 59 minutes 13. He becomes only the 5th European, I think it is, to go under 60 minutes. And in fact, I think only the 3rd to do it on a record legal course, because one or two times have been set either at the Great North Run, which is a point-to-point course that drops too much to stick within the ruling criteria for record purposes, and one run was on the old Lisbon course, I think, which dropped too much as well. But spoils shared in terms of the victors here today between Ethiopia and Kenya. The women's race won by Senberi Teferi in her debut in 65.45, the Ethiopian taking that title. And in the men's race, Stephen Kiprop of Kenya sprinting to victory by 2 seconds in 58.42. He won from Abadi Hadis, who ran 58.44, replicating to the second his personal best. Indeed, it's a day of replication, because Kiprop's winning time, 58.42, was the same as the winning time last year by Bidan Karoki, 58.42. and Abadi had his 58.44, replicating his personal best.
Hello.
She's the best.
She runs more than you.
She's the best. That's on stage. Keep running. Welcome. Go. Go. Welcome to the stage. Good. Keep running. staying about the right pace with it. Yeah.
again breaking that famous 1 hour barrier. It was an incredible pair of elite races. We are delighted to be joined on the stage by His Highness Sheikh Zaka bin Saud Al Qasimi and Haytham Matar, CEO of RAC TDA, to make the official presentations. And we start with the elite women. In third place, at the tender age of just 20, what a performance. 5th in the World Half Marathon Championships last year in Valencia. She upgrades to 3rd here in Ras Al Khaimah. Sinanda Yima, brilliant run. 65.46 to 3rd.
You want to come in the middle?
And in second place, the reigning World Half Marathon Champion, so close to glory once again, a new lifetime best for Neptunet Predator. And making it a clean sweep for the Ethiopians with a new national record on this, her half marathon debut. World cross-country silver medalist, world 10,000 metre silver medalist, but champion in Ras Al Khaimah for 2019, Sebere Tefere.
Well, the presentation's being made there by the local dignitaries, and what a great job the athletes have done. Teferi Gudeta Yima, 1, 2, 3 for Ethiopia. The fastest ever debut by Sebere Teferi there. Well, here we can see some of the running through the latter stage of the race when this trio had broken away. And then it came down to the sprint. Seems almost ironic that a long-distance race where strength and endurance is the critical factor should be decided by a sprint, but it is, of course, so often the case. And it was Sebere Teferi, the 23-year-old debutante, who eased away without displaying massive power, just smooth, delightfully liquid form from her towards the finish line. A great track speed, remember, she's an 8:32 3,000 meter runner, carrying her to the tape there in exactly the same time as the second placer, the reigning world champion Neptunet Gudeta, her compatriot, 65.45, with in third place as our neighbour Yima, 65.46. And now the men's presentations.
And in second place, setting the pace at the front for so much of the 13.1 miles, so close to glory. He's a world cross-country bronze medalist. He's one of the fastest juniors the world has ever seen over 10,000 metres. And once again, he underlined his status as one of the greats. Silver this time for Amani Hannes. But the champion, where on earth did he find that turn of speed in the last 50 metres? Absolutely incredible. From the second fastest junior of all time over the half marathon, and now he announced his arrival as a great senior. He's still only 20, and he's one of the fastest the sport has ever seen. What a day for Stephen Kiprock. If we may, another round of applause for 3 men on the podium. Amazing strength in depth from the 2 East African distance running greats of Kenya and Ethiopia.
Well, here you see that sprint at the finish of the men's race. Stephen Kiprop, as Rob Walker was suggesting, where did he find this sprint over the last 60 or 70 metres? Brilliant speed from the 20-year-old. 59.21 was his personal best here for Valencia last October. Prior to today, now he wins in 58.42. Personal best by some 39 seconds for Stephen Kiprop. There we see the first 3 men and first 3 women. They are quite rightly posing with Sheikh Saka bin Saud Al Qasimi, the Crown Prince of Ras Al Khaimah. Well, there will be interpretations required, I'm sure, for the interviews of the elite athletes from Kenya. The young lady called Turuye, who works at RAC Hospital, has done a wonderful job over the last couple of days, assisting us with interpreting from Amharic to English. We also saw assisting with the presentations Haytham Matar, the CEO of RAC Tourist Development Authority, who have been the major sponsor behind this event. The authorities, the royal family, RAC Ports, through the figure of Captain Cliff Brand, have been great supporters of this event. And it's a really good example of a relatively small community. Ras Al Khaimah is not a huge emirate, but it's a really good example of a relatively small but well-linked community pulling together to put on a world-class event. I can tell you that the 11 men who have broken 60 minutes today is a new record. Never before have men getting under 60 minutes in one race reached double figures. The previous record was 9 at the Delhi Half Marathon in 2014. Well, here today, beside those glorious green-blue waters of the Gulf, 11 men breaking 60 minutes. 11th place belonged to Turkey's former Kenyan, now Turkish citizen Kaan Keegan Özbilen. 59.48 set a new national record for Turkey. So there's a sight of the finish area, that little square white roof near the middle of this shot. Alongside the main road is the media centre and VIP centre of the race, the start-finish line of the race. The hotel complex to the top centre of picture is where the elite athletes stay, and I suspect before their flights, most of them leaving tonight. Some of them will spend a little bit of time on that beach. Let's hope they do. Well, I shall conclude now. My name's Tim Hutchings. I've really enjoyed being with you for the last 2 or 3 hours. I hope you have enjoyed this coverage of the 13th edition of the Ras Al Khaimah Half Marathon. It has been a very, very special day at the races. 1, 2, 3 for the ladies of Ethiopia in that women's race, with Senberi Teferi setting the fastest ever debut time of 65.45 ahead of world champion Netzanet Gudeta in the same time. And in the men's race, Stephen Kiprop sprinting to 58.42, equaling the course record of Bidan Kuroki from last year. A personal best from him by 39 seconds, leading home Abadi Hadis by 2 seconds and Fikadu Haftu. So a Kenyan leading second and third there for Ethiopia in the men's race. And as I said, 11 men going under 60 minutes for the first time in a half marathon. A European record by Julian Wonders of Switzerland in that men's competition, 59.13 for 4th place. And a really fabulous day in the glorious sunshine here in the UAE in Ras Al Khaimah. But from the production team, from all the volunteers and organisers on the ground, and from the more than 3,000 runners here in Ras Al Khaimah, I'll say goodbye for now. Do hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you here next year for the 14th edition of the Ras Al Khaimah Half Marathon. Bye-bye.
في ربع نهائي كأس رئيس الدولة لكرة القدم، شباب الأهلي دبي يقابل النصر. كأس رئيس الدولة على أبو ظبي الرياضية. رئيس اتحاد الكرة مروان بن غليطة في مواجهة الشارع الرياضي الغاضب.
في هدف أنك توصل للمباراة النهائية.
من يتحمل مسؤولية الفشل؟ هل اتحاد الكرة هو المسؤول الوحيد؟ وهل الاستقالة هي الحل؟ كل ذلك وأكثر على طاولة النقاش مع محمد نجيب، مباشرة وحصرياً. مقابلة خاصة. مروان بن غليطة رئيس الاتحاد الإماراتي لكرة القدم على أبو ظبي الرياضية. بطولة عام التسامح لتحدي الجوجيتسو 2019 على قناة أبو ظبي الرياضية. أهلا ومرحبا بكل عشاق ومتابعي الكرة الإماراتية على شاشات أبو ظبي الرياضية. حلقة جديدة من برنامج AGL World تخاطبكم، والمتعة بكل ألوانها وأشكالها تنتظركم. تتابعون في حلقة اليوم مسيرة لاعب نادي الظفرة بيدرو كوندي، وقفة مع مدرب اتحاد كلباء فابيو فيفياني، الوجه الآخر للاعب نادي عجمان محمد هلال. نتائج دوري الخليج العربي.
هنا محاولة لبنياس، خطرة جول. برونو باتيلا الاسباني.
يسار وبيدرو والتصويب على الابيض. الله يا حبيبي يا حبيبي يا حبيبي يا حبيبي يا ولد.
بيدرو كوندي مهاجم نادي بنياس، واحد من اللاعبين الذين برزوا خلال مرحلة الذهاب من دوري الخليج العربي، حيث شكل مع الهولندي ليوري جورج قوة هجومية ضاربة للسماوي، وتمكن من النيل من شباك جميع المنافسين. بيدرو كوندي صال وجال في العديد من الملاعب الأوروبية قبل أن يحط الرحال في دورينا ويعزز صفوف السماوي مع بداية هذا الموسم.
No sabía mucho sobre el fútbol en UAE. Solo me gustaba seguir la liga, me gustaba seguir todo, pero al no tener ningún compañero, al no tener nadie conocido en esta liga, en esta competición, no tenía mucha información sobre la liga. Bueno, me llamaron, tenía muchas ofertas en verano, tenía muchos equipos que querían que me fueran que estuviera en su plantilla, pero al final, bueno, Vanilla apostó por mí, tuvo muchísimo interés por mí y bueno, a través de mi agente pues fue el que me ayudó a hacerlo todo mucho mejor.
الكرة موجودة الآن والهدف الرابع نعم الرابع يا سلام. بيدرو كوندي.
بداية موسم أكثر من رائعة للسماوي، حيث استطاع بنياس تحقيق 18 نقطة مع نهاية النصف الأول من عمر الدوري، جعلته يحتل مركزا مريحا في منتصف جدول الترتيب ليبتعد عن المناطق الخطيرة التي قد تعجل برحيله عن دوري المحترفين مثل ما حصل قبل موسمين.
Yo pienso que lo he visto muy bien al equipo. Sí es verdad que podríamos haber sacado algunos puntos más, pero bueno, esto es fútbol, muchas veces ganas partidos y has merecido empatar, y otras veces pues pierdes partidos y has merecido ganar o empatar. Entonces, bueno, yo al final de la primera vuelta pues he visto muy bien a Vanilla y espero que esta segunda vuelta lo hagamos mucho mejor.
بيدرو كوندي واحد من اللاعبين الذين كان لهم دور كبير في وصول بنياس لهذا المركز وتقديم مستوى يليق بالسماوي، حيث تمكن بيدرو لوحده من تسجيل 11 هدفا في الدوري، حصيلة تعتبر جيدة بالنسبة لمهاجم يلعب لأول مرة في دورينا ليتألق بشكل ملفت للأنظار. ولعل كوندي هو أفضل من يحدثنا عن سر تألقه في مرحلة الذهاب.
Bueno, yo creo que la manera de mantenernos bien creo que es cuidándose, y tanto en la alimentación como entrenando bien, como todo lo que engloba el fútbol, pues llevarlo bien, llevar una vida saludable, entrenar duro, entrenar bien y sobre todo también pues estar bien con los compañeros. Yo pienso que somos un equipo es lo más importante y estar bien con todos los compañeros es lo más importante.
استغل نادي بنياس توقف الدوري في الفترة الماضية للاستعداد جيدا لمرحلة الإياب والوقوف على بعض الأخطاء التي ارتكبها والتي كانت سببا رئيسيا في إهدار بعض النقاط السهلة.
Sí, bueno, la preparación fue buena, estábamos concentrados y tenemos mucha ganas el equipo de que llegara el día de competición, la semana de competición y por fin ya, gracias a Dios, pues ya ha llegado. Y la verdad que el foco que tenemos el equipo es ir a partido. Nosotros ahora mismo solo pensamos en Fulleira, ganar en Fulleira, después de Fulleira pues veremos qué partido viene y a intentar ganar el siguiente partido. Pero ahora mismo el foco lo tenemos en el siguiente partido aquí en casa, que es el lunes, intentar conseguir los 3 puntos, que creo que es lo más importante. Creo que va a ser una segunda vuelta bastante complicada, creo que hay equipos que se han reforzado bastante bien y creo que hay equipos ahí abajo que quieren subir para arriba, por lo tanto yo creo que va a ser una segunda parte bastante dura.
بالرغم من هذه النتائج الجيدة في مرحلة الذهاب إلا أن السماوي ما زال في منتصف المشوار نحو تحقيق هدفه وهو ضمان البقاء بين الكبار.
Personal no me gusta marcarme ningún objeto personal, no me gusta marcarme ninguna meta personal, porque pienso que si, por ejemplo, yo soy delantero y si puedo meter, si yo digo ahora que quiero meter 20 goles y puedo meter 25, pues creo que me hace peor futbolista. Yo creo que no tengo ninguna... Mi meta personal es ayudar al equipo, hacer gol todos los partidos ayudando al equipo a que gane y no me marco ninguna meta de hasta un límite, no me quiero poner límites. Y sobre el equipo, pues creo que tampoco deberíamos de ponernos límites. Creo que tenemos que ir a ganar todos los partidos y a intentar conseguir los 3 puntos todos los partidos.
بنياس خطير جدا عن طريق كوندي، مكتوبة والله للأسباني.
حاليا طبعا الصراع بين اثنين ميسي او رونالدو، لكن بالنسبه لي صراحه اشوف ميسي، ولو انه في بعض الاحيان يعني رونالدو يتفوق عليه، لكن منافسه شريفه يعني بينهم الاثنين. صراحه اشوف ميسي مهارته الفرديه افضل من رونالدو، لكن رونالدو لاعب مجتهد وهذا اللي ممكن يعني يشفع له، لاعب مجتهد ويشتغل على نفسه كثير، وكذلك ماكينه اهداف، فما تقدر يعني تقول ان ميسي افضل عن رونالدو او رونالدو افضل من ميسي. الاثنين لاعبين كبار وكل واحد يميزه جانب، يعني ميسي ممكن يسحب 3 4 ورا بعض، رونالدو ممكن يسجل لك من اضعف الفرص يسجل لك منها اهداف، فكذلك يعني الجميع ممتاز. افضل لاعب كان وبيكون زيدان طبعا. بالنسبه لي زيدان افضل لاعب مر على الكره يعني. اولا مش كمهارته الفرديه، طبعا زيدان يمتلك مهاره فرديه الكل يعرفها، كنترول على الكره ومهاره دربلينج حتى الفينيشنج، يعني لاعب تقدر تقول انه متكامل. لكن اللي يميز زيدان لعبه الجماعي مع الفريق. زيدان ممكن يخلق لك جو في الملعب انه يشيل الفريق كله في المباراه، نفس ما شفتوه يعني في فرنسا، كذلك الفرق اللي لعب فيها قبل مدريد وجوفنتوس حتى لما بدا يعني. فهذا اللي يميز زيدان، انه ممكن ياثر على الفريق ككل ويلعب الفريق بشكل يعني مباراه ممتازه بسبب اللاعب، يعني ممكن يحرك الفريق ككل، فهذا اللي يميزه يعني. افضل نادي اعتقد برشلونه من 2009 لحد 2012، ما في له مثيل. هذا الفريق ما اعتقد ممكن يتكرر، ولو ان برشلونه في هذه الفتره يعني ممكن يتدهور بعض الاحيان، لكن من 2009 ل 2012 هذا افضل فريق اعتقد مر على الكره. سداسيه ما حد كررها غير برشلونه، اعتقد هذا هو الفريق الافضل يعني. افضل جماهير في العالم صراحه منافسه بين انديه كثيره، يعني اعتقد دورتموند جماهيره شرسه، كذلك الفرق العريقه يعني مثل مدريد وبرشلونه، طبعا هاي اعتقد اكثر شعبيه لهم في العالم. لكن كأفضل جمهور صراحة صعب شيء يعني كثير. بجاوبك على سؤال، يعني على سؤالين بجاوبك. أفضل لاعب وأفضل مدرب، هي الإجابة واحدة. طبعا زيدان لما مسك مدريد 3 دوري أبطال ورا بعض سووها طبعا 2 قبله، لكن في هالظروف يعني زيدان يثبت وجوده. أعتقد هو أفضل مدرب في العالم. الدريم تيم حقيقة المنافسة صعبة بينهم، لكن أعتقد من أفضل حارس ممكن يكون بوفون، وأفضل مدافع أيمن أعتقد مايكون أو دانيال ألفيس، البرازيليين بشكل عام ممتازين. وأفضل قلب دفاع ممكن يكون بويول مع راموس أعتقد كأفضل قلوب الدفاع يعني. جناح يسار اعتقد مارسيلو يستحق هذا المكان. اما الاثنين الارتكاز طبعا زيدان لا يخلو من هذا المكان، واعتقد ممكن على زيدان يكون مودريتش حقيقة يستحق هذا المكان في الدريم تيم. أما على الأجنحة أعتقد ميسي ورونالدو، ميسي الجهة اليمين ورونالدو الجهة اليسار. والمهاجمين طبعا راس حربة صريح رونالدو البرازيلي، هذا اللاعب كنت أتمنى أن تكون مسيرته في الكرة أطول، ممكن كان يكسر أرقام قياسية يعني في الكرة. وأما خلفه فأعتقد ممكن يكون ممكن راؤول أو جوتي لاعب مدريد السابق، ممكن يعني مهاجمين اثنين.
عادت الحياة إلى منافسات دوري الخليج العربي بعد توقف طويل بسبب منافسات كأس آسيا، وانطلقت يوم الاثنين منافسات الجولة 14 أولى جولات الدور الثاني بإقامة 4 مباريات. ضربة البداية كانت من ملعب الفجيرة، حيث استطاع نادي الواصل تحقيق فوز مهم خارج الديار بعد فوزه على حساب مضيفه نادي ديبا بنتيجة 2-1، ليرفع بذلك رصيده إلى 14 نقطة في المركز العاشر، فيما تجمد رصيد ديبا ب4 نقاط في المركز الأخير.
الكرة تعود الآن، محاولة بالراس والبخيت، يا سلام يا سلام، ياسين البخيت ابن النشامة النشم الأردني يسجل أول النواخذة. نعم النواخذة يتقدمون بأول الأهداف، كرة طويلة من المعلم إدريس فتوحي، وياسين البخيت يسجل رابع أهدافهم في الجولة رقم 14. رونالدو والكرة العرضية، لكن أيضا واقفين صح، لذلك استعادوها مرة أخرى. تعود الكرة لرونالدو، مينديز يغير الاتجاه بالراس، تتهيأ المحاولة إلى كايو، هدف ياتي من كايو كانيدو من أنصاف الفرص، يسجل، خطف الكرة وضعها بالشباك. في وسط الملعب، لكن بداية جيدة للدور الثاني، والكرة فيها لمسة يد. أحمد عبيد خادم يحتسب ركلة الجزاء. فابيو دليما ولا عبد الله سلطان، فابيو برافو يا عبد الله سلطان، والمتابعة من فابيو دليما. عبد الله سلطان شالها، لكن فابيو دليما تابعها، وهل يحتسب الهدف ولا فيها راية وتسلل؟ خلونا نشوف.
وفي المباراة الثانية اكتسح بنياس ضيفه نادي الفجيرة برباعية نظيفة ليواصل السماوي سلسلة النتائج الإيجابية التي وصلت به إلى المركز الخامس ب21 نقطة، فيما حل الفجيرة في المركز الثاني عشر ب13 نقطة.
عن بيدرو كونتي تحت الرقابة، يبحث الآن بنياس عن سهيل النوبي حطها في منطقة الجزاء، وهذه خطيرة الله مايكل أورتيغا الكولومبي، يا سلام، بنياس يتقدم بهدف أول بشعار في ملعبنا. وهذه لعبة يا الله، هيا بنا نواصل النجاح في دورينا بحثا عن الفوز الثالث على التوالي. بنياس صالح حاول فيها، تعود الكرة لبنياس، خطأ من حارس المرمى في إرسال الكرة، ترجع لبنياس، هذه خطيرة، الهولندي عدى، والعرضية لا زالت خطيرة، حبوش استلام، تصويب، الله، سيوف العاصمة، سيوف يمزقون شباك الذئاب في مناسبة ثالثة. ياهي كرة لا تصد ولا ترد. أحبوش، خبرتك يا حبوش. البديل يتقدم، مال الله يحاول، أحمد مال الله يخترق، يمر الله على مرور جميل، على محاولة لا زالت خطيرة في أرضية الملعب. أوه، ضربة جزاء، ضربة جزاء لبنياس. هنا الهداف يتقدم، جول.
وفي قمة هذه الجولة استضاف نادي الجزيرة نظيره نادي شباب الأهلي دبي على استاد محمد بن زايد، والذي تمكن من العودة ب3 نقاط مهمة بعد فوزه بنتيجة هدف دون رد، ليرفع بذلك شباب الأهلي رصيده إلى 28 نقطة في المركز الرابع، فيما تجمد رصيد الجزيرة بنفس عدد النقاط في المركز الثالث.
الكرة ملعوبة، عبد العزيز هيكل بيلعبها لماجد حسن، كرة للشباب الأهلي، ملعوبة عالية أمام المرمى. الله على خلي، كل شيء به روعة. خليل وذكرياته، خليل وأيامه. أحمد خليل يسجل في الدقيقة 93 من عمر المباراة. هدف قاتل من فوبيا خليل، من أيام خليل، ذكريات خليل، أهداف خليل.
وفي ختام اليوم الأول من منافسات الجولة 14 اقتلع نادي عجمان نقطة ثمينة من ضيفه نادي الناصر بعد تعادله في الدقائق الأخيرة من المباراة ب2-2 ليتقاسما نقطة التعادل التي وصلت بعجمان إلى المركز السابع ب19 نقطة، فيما حل نادي الناصر في المركز التاسع ب16 نقطة.
12 دقيقة أخيرة خلاص على نهاية الشوط الأول. كرة خطيرة جدا براسيات، جول عالمي يا ولد، جول. بقول لك عجمان أفضل، عجمان في التلت ساعة اللي فاتت أفضل. إذن يسجل هدف الفريق البرتقالي. يتقدم نادي عجمان هنا، عجمان اللي قعد وحاول يستقطب فريق نادي النصر هنا. عرضي خطيرة، تعادل عالمي. هو خطير جدا، ملوش حل نجرده طبعا، ملوش حل. شوف خد الخطوة الأولى، سبق قبل تاني آخر مدافع بالنسبة لعجمان، وعدل ورجع النصر بصراحة للنقطة الأولى والتعادل إيجابي 1-1. إنما شوف في هفوة وغفلة رجع وعدى من خلف اليماحي الفارو نجرده. اللقطة الحلوة بتاعت حبيب فردان، بص التمريرة بتاعت حبيب فردان. اللعيبة المهرية أصحاب المهارة. الله الله الله، الفارو نجريدو يسجل تاني هدف. بقول لك حبيب فردان، وبص اللمسة بتاعت حبيب، بص اللمسة اللي ودت الكورة للباصة. حبيب فردان جميلة. وده على طول فرنانديز والجمل الجميلة النصراوية. والتركيز باللياقة من أجل هدف ثاني. أوه، خطيرة جدا لكن ركنية. بعد الفيديو يترك الجزاء. رائع ولد، ركله جزاء. ريفيرا، يا قاعد الرمادي في الريفيرا، يا قاعد الرمادي محتار للاسبوع اللي جاي. ريفيرا ركله جزاء في توقيت ممتاز. ريفيرا عجمان، تعادل، تعادل بطعم الفوز بطعم الجمال. إذن يتعادل الآن وحسن زهراني يفرح، وركل جزاء عن طريق فريق نادي عجمان. يعود عجمان من الباب الكبير ويتعادل تعادل إيجابي 2-2.
لا تذهبوا بعيدا، فهناك الكثير بانتظاركم في الجزء الثاني من برنامجكم AGL World، فابقوا معنا. في ربع نهائي كأس رئيس الدولة لكرة القدم، ديبا يواجه الظفرة. كأس رئيس الدولة على أبو ظبي الرياضية. بطولة عام التسامح لتحدي الجوجيتسو 2019 على قناة أبو ظبي الرياضية. أحدث بطولات سباقات الدراجات للعام 2019 طواف الإمارات، البطولة الأولى من نوعها لطواف الدراجات في الشرق الأوسط. أمهر السائقين من حول العالم يلتقون للتنافس في مسار حول الإمارات السبع. طواف الإمارات 2019 على أبو ظبي الرياضية. مهرجان الشيخ سلطان بن زايد الدولي للقدرة، اسطبلات خاصة 100 كيلومتر في هذه الأوقات على أبو ظبي الرياضية. أصحاب الهمم من جميع قارات العالم يجتمعون في العين للمنافسة على واحد من أهم الألقاب العالمية، كأس العالم لرماية أصحاب الهمم العين 2019 على أبو ظبي الرياضية. أهلا بكم في الجزء الثاني من برنامجكم AGL World، حيث سنتابع معكم وقفة مع مدرب اتحاد كلباء فابيو فيفياني، إيموجي تشكيلة نادي الظفرة، باقي نتائج دوري الخليج العربي،
For us, fine. We see a good league because I think from the last my experience, the league was improved. A lot of clubs are more close, and this is right for the league. the coach. I'm joking. I find a good management. The management helping me every time. They follow me my idea, and also the players trust in me, and they continue to believe in what I say, in what I ask from him. And this is simple, but is our secret. Continuous in our dream. The team in the club is very improving. It's improving every time. We can see outside this room, everything here is better than 2 years ago. The management continues to improve the club, continue on everything, to improve everything. And the teams follow this idea. The teams want to stay, my team want to stay for the first time. In the last 15 years, never Calba team stay for 2 seasons in the Premier League. We want this. We try to make history. We want to make history for club this season. Coach is never satisfied about coaching, but we can improve always, because I think we play a lot of match as a team. This is very important, but we have to reduce some very big individual mistakes sometimes happen, and we training a lot about this because we have possibility to improve. No, we prefer to stay in the same mood because we were in the good position of the table, and we believe to stay in the same team. You know, when the players became team, now this is the point. We believe in this team now. We don't leave to make pressure. I don't stop to make pressure about them, but we must to continue to play as a team. For us, it will be very important not to forget who we are. We arrive in this situation thinking as a team, I repeat. If we forget now is easy, now it became more easy because we are in the alpha round. The things became quickly difficult. I push every day about don't forget who we are, because it's a very important point for us. We have only one target. We want to reach this target quickly or not, I don't know, but we want to stay in this league for 1 more year. Coach always think to reach the best position, always. But for us, the most important thing is to stay. I don't know when, but we want to stay. And after this, if we arrive quickly, then we continue to make points as possible.
حسن بيرسل الكرة عرضية. أوبا! أوه يا الله!
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. معكم اللاعب إبراهيم سعيد لاعب نادي الظفرة. إن شاء الله معانا حاليا فقرة الإيموجي، بس بناخذها بطريقة ثانية على هيئة لعيبة نادي الظفرة، وإن شاء الله تستانسون في الفقرة. الخجول عندنا سهيل الحربي، أي شيء تقوله يستحي. إنسان يحب عائلته وايد، طبعا كلنا نحب عائلاتنا، بس أكثر إنسان يعني داري على عائلته دييغو المحترف. إنسان 24 ساعة تحصله في الانستغرام خلف الحوسني، لأن 24 ساعة يحب يفتح لايف. إنسان أكثر إنسان صديق للكل ميليسي لأنه يحب لمة اللعيبة كثير. إنسان ينام وايد. عندنا حميد سالمين المعروف بهباش. أكثر إنسان ينام في أي مكان ينام، حتى لو في الباص ينام، ما عنده أي مشكلة. إنسان سكوت وما يحب أبداً الإعلام، خاصة عبد الرحمن يوسف. ما يحب يظهر في الإعلام أبداً، وحتى داخل الملعب ما له شغل في أي حد. إنسان ينفجر في الملعب بحكم إنه يحب الفريق، خالد الدرمكي. أكثر إنسان يحب الأقيام، خاصة هذه اللعبة اللي طايحين فيها الحين ببجي، أحمد الشبيبي الحارس. 24 ساعة تحصله في الببجي. إنسان كشيخ وما شاء الله عليه ذويق في اللبس. عندنا اثنين بس أكثر إنسان أشوفه عبد الله عبد القادر. إنسان يحب العضلات والجيم وهذا الحركات هذه، خالد بطي. إنسان يحب الأكل، خالد بوزير. 24 ساعة برجر وكنافة. إنسان يحب الضحك، يعشق شيء اسمه الضحك حتى لو بأي سبب كان. عندنا زايد الحمادي، وعندنا بعد حمد الحوسني. طبعا الكينج بلا منازع، قلته من شوي، عنده كذا شخصية. سعيد الكثيري اللي يعصب وما ياخذ في قلبه أي شيء، رموله. إنسان المخ عنده فاصل، نفس ما قلت لك أول واحد قلته، سهيل منصور. طبعا كذا لاعب عندنا، عنده كذا شخصية وكذا ايموجي، بس في الأغاني خالد السناني، وعندنا عبد الله عبد القادر. إن شاء الله انبسطتوا معانا في الفقرة هذه، وإن شاء الله كانت خفيفة على قلوبكم والسموحة من الجميع. شكرا.
نواصل وإياكم أعزائنا المشاهدين باقي نتائج الجولة 14 من دوري الخليج العربي في يومها الثاني، والتي انطلقت من ملعب اتحاد كلباء، حيث استقبل أصحاب الأرض ضيوفهم أصحاب السعادة الذين استطاعوا العودة إلى العاصمة أبو ظبي ب3 نقاط مهمة بعد فوزهم ب4 أهداف ل2 على النمور، ليرفع بذلك نادي الوحدة رصيده إلى 21 نقطة في المركز السادس، فيما تراجع اتحاد كلباء إلى المركز السابع ب18 نقطة.
ولكن هنا محاولة، ركلة جزاء لأصحاب السعادة. فهل يأتي الهدف؟ ليوناردو، جول! كرة تعود من جديد الآن، تصل محاولة انطلاقة أمامية، تيغالي ينفرد الآن، تيغالي خطرة، جول! العنابي يضرب بالهدف الثاني عن طريق سيباستيان تيغالي ليرفع رصيده إلى 13 هدف الآن في دوري الخليج العربي. كرة تصل الآن، محاولة انطلاقة أمامية، الآن تمريرة خطرة، عنابي، يا العنابي، يا العنابي، ثلاثية الآن في هذه اللحظات، ثلاثية للعنابي. لاحظ ركلة جزاء، 5 مسجلة و1 ضايعة، ومراد الله حطها على طريقة الكبار.
هنا محاولة الآن داخل منطقة الجزاء. راموس، الله الله، سجل راموس. بالراس، جول. هو راموس، هو راموس، هو راموس، هو الهداف، هو اللعيب. وصلت النتيجة إلى 6 أهداف الآن.
وعلى استاد الشارقة تمكن صاحب الصدارة الملك الشرجاوي من اقتلاع نقاط الفوز من ضيفه نادي الظفرة في الدقائق الأخيرة بعد انتصاره بهدفين لهدف، ليواصل نادي الشارقة تصدره للدوري ب34 نقطة، فيما تجمد رصيد نادي الظفرة ب14 نقطة في المركز 11.
أمطار الخير، الكرة العرضية الخطيرة وأول الأهداف، أول الأهداف فعلها فارس الظفرة. فارس الظفرة يسجل أولا في هذه المباراة. كرة بتعود الآن أمامية، محاولة لريان مينديز نقلها خطيرة ولمسة، لكن عدت ومرت إلى ركلة ركنية. اللي يحتسب نعم يحتسب. الخالد السناني دارس إيغور، ولا إيغور الساحر البرازيلي. إيغور وضعها إيغور، سجلها إيغور وسجل التعادل للملك. الأسبوع رقم 15 الوحدة أمام تمام، الكرة أمامية، محاولة لويلتون لكن حارس المرمى، والمتابعة من معتصم ياسين. معتصم ياسين يأتي بالخبر السعيد، الخبر السعيد للشرجاوي.
وفي ختام هذه الجولة تعادل نادي العين مع ضيفه نادي الإمارات بنتيجة التعادل السلبي على استاد هزاع بن زايد، ليتقاسما نقطة التعادل التي وصلت بالزعيم إلى المركز الثاني ب29 نقطة، فيما يقبع نادي الإمارات في المركز قبل الأخير ب10 نقاط.
عنده فرصة، كرة بتضيع، لا زالت قائمة، محاولة عيناوية في المكان الخطير، التسديدة هذه الخطيرة الأولى في المباراة. عيناوي يهاجم ومحاولة قائمة الآن، ممكن يسدد، قوية كانت نعم الكرة الماضية، خطيرة والكرة تبعد ولا زالت، والتسديدة هذه الآن خارج الملعب من جانب ريان يسرى. الشوط الثاني كرة جميلة وخطيرة، وهذه وين محمد خلفان في المكان السليم، وهذه خطيرة والتسديدة وفرصة، والإبعاد من علي صقر، الإبعاد من علي صقر في الكرة الماضية، كرة خطيرة جدا. هذه الكرة تلعب وتنقل الآن في المكان السليم، هذه محاولة قائمة من جمال معروف، كرة خطيرة، فرصة،
كان هذا كل ما لدينا في هذه الحلقة من برنامجكم AGL World عبر قناة أبو ظبي الرياضية. انتظرونا الأسبوع المقبل في لقاءات خاصة ومميزة. شكرا لمتابعتكم وإلى اللقاء. مهرجان الشيخ سلطان بن زايد الدولي للقدرة، اسطبلات خاصة 100 كيلومتر في هذه الأوقات على أبو ظبي الرياضية.
مرحبا بكم في برنامج اكسترا تايم، نظرتكم المرحة إلى عالم كرة القدم الجاد. في حلقة اليوم النتائج وردود الأفعال من إنجلترا وإسبانيا، بالإضافة إلى آخر التفاعلات على مواقع التواصل الاجتماعي. نسمع أيضا ممن يطلق عليهم اسم دفعة 92. في منتصف أسبوع الدوري الممتاز، أدى لاعبو أرسنال وكارديف سيتي التحية قبل المباراة لإيميليانو سالا على ملعب الفريق الويلزي للمرة الأولى منذ اختفاء الطائرة التي كانت تقل